let's stop being more honest with each other. But that can only happen once we stop being honest with ourselves. The educational system is the first instance for many people of the way the state is run. And in which way is the educational system structured? Based on the Industrial Revolution, workers had to have a certain level of skill and obediency in order to maximize productivity. High levels of productivity resulted in more power projection, more security, and more advancements for that society. The current educational system is still predicated upon those old worker mindsets. The idea of work is a construct. Now, I am opening myself here to binary attacks, to false dichotomies, where someone may say, if you're against work, then clearly you're for laziness. Of course, that is not my viewpoint. How could we have a society that functions without individuals contributing to that society? However, the way in which individuals contribute in this present day is only really quantifiable through the structure of work. There are things that capitalism simply cannot address. However, there are also things that capitalism are amazing at doing. Capitalism, mainly the market forces on which it is based upon, allow infrastructures to be set based on user demand and those profit margins to be shrunk to absolute zero. This then leaves a system in place that society can benefit from. A wonderful thing. However, livelihoods are tied into work rate, are tied into productivity, and that's why all major nations are worried about their economic growth. However, the system that they are using to implement these new things is market forces through the guise of capitalism. Now, for a consumer, minimizing profits is fantastic for me. I don't want to pay extra anywhere. I don't want to pay extra tax. I don't want to pay extra on my car fees. I don't want to pay extra on services. I don't want to pay extra on food. However, well-being is woven into those profits. When I take an Uber and that individual barely makes any money, I'm very happy because I have fulfilled a need to logistically traverse through the environment. However, the individual who has provided that service to me is now worse off and less able to fulfill their own needs, which as a male is often to provide for themselves and their family. Is it possible to fathom a system where well-being is not as closely correlated to profits? The opposite of that question would be, or the opposite statement would be, it is impossible to decouple or fathom a system where profits are not directly aligned with well-being. Now, every time you say something is impossible, 100 or 0%, the universe often proves you wrong. So let's not go against the fundamental forces of the universe. There is a few possibilities out there, a few system structures out there that allow for individuals to be productive, allow for society to progress and advance, which use capitalistic systems where they are applicable. However, if you tie the profitability, which is guaranteed to decrease once the boundaries of a market have been established, profit will decrease if the market forces are truly at work. And that is why we don't like monopolies, because monopolies are against innate market forces, and that can increase the price. So if you apply capitalism to a certain structure and a market is defined, profits will decrease. The individuals within that market will therefore make less money over time. And because well-being and profit are so tightly woven as if it was a double helix, the well-being of individuals within markets decreases over time. Now, innate, this isn't a problem necessarily. You could fathom a system where you simply have to keep creating new markets. However, not everyone is able to create a new market, and not every market is best suited to capitalism. So what's the takeaway? Capitalism isn't a way of being, it's not a reality, it's a tool set that you should implement in order to retrieve certain results. Just as a hammer is not an entire universe, unless we're thinking very abstractly, it is a tool to fulfill a certain role. Once we understand that there are other types of markets, that there are other types of desires that need to be met, I fucking lost it.